This is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to get something off my chest, get something off my mind, tell the whole world what I really think what's going on. You know what's wrong with professional wrestling these days? It's not any one company, not any one promoter, not any one wrestler. Really, what's wrong with professional wrestling is these so called journalists, these so called internet wrestling fans, as they've been labeled over the years, people on social media, people who think they know everything there is to know about the business. But guess what, people? You're what's wrong with professional wrestling. Let me give you an example. Last night, WWE Stomping Grounds. Awesome pay per view. Had good, solid matches. Told some very good stories. But yet everyone's still complaining. It was too predictable. Why? Because Brock Lesnar wasn't the special guest referee and Lacey Evans was? Is that the problem? Women can't have dominant roles that the men used to have? Is that what's going on? What else do I keep hearing? Oh, well, such and such should go to AEW once their WWE contract is over. Guess what, people? AEW has got close to 40 to 50 wrestlers already on their roster. Okay? Not everyone who leaves WWE is going to go to AEW. There are other promotions out there like Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Major League Wrestling. Not everything is going to be AEW. AEW. I mean, come on, guys. Oh, and these journalists, oh, I tell you, they think they know the ins and outs of everything going on inside WWE. Well, guess what, journalists? WWE probably feeds you a lot of false information because they're sick and tired of being criticized all the time. They're sick and tired of backstage leaks. They're sick and tired of their tapings being spoiled and causing people not to watch. Okay? Dave Meltzer is probably the worst. And let me be the first to tell you, Dave Meltzer is so far up AEW's rear end. He didn't even know. He probably knows what Cody, Kenny, and the Young Bucks had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So Dave Meltzer, not credible. Okay? The problem The problem with professional wrestling and sports entertainment, because everyone bickers that WWE labels themselves sports entertainment. Well, guess what, people? Yes, that is what they label it. But there is still professional wrestling taking place inside the wrestling ring. Okay? People just have a hard time understanding that concept. Yes, Vince McMahon considers it sports entertainment because there is an entertainment factor there. But when you step inside the ring, it is still professional wrestling. And to me, WWE Stomping Grounds proved that point that they still know what professional wrestling is. Okay? To me, it's like I've often said this, and I'm finding it more and more to be true. Social media is a thing where irrelevant people think their opinions are relevant. They think they have knowledge on something that they really have no clue about whatsoever. Okay? If you want to be relevant and you want to have a relevant opinion that people actually care about, do some things for me. Do some research. Come up with something constructive. Come up with something that doesn't sound like a whiny little schoolgirl who doesn't get his way anytime that their wrestler does or doesn't do something they want. I mean, come on, guys. It's pathetic. Like, I feel like it's ironic I'm doing this on social media because to me social media and the internet have ruined wrestling in a lot of ways. Because fans think they know it all. These journalists think they have all the information. And the internet wrestling community just whines to whine, complains to complain, bickers to bicker. And you know what? It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. So let me give you some advice. Some very, very, I would say, good advice. If you don't like what you're watching, turn the TV off. Like, seriously, turn the TV off. How hard is it for you to switch a channel? How hard for you is it to, like, not watch the programming? Okay? Let me explain this in a way maybe people understand. By watching the programming, you are still giving your attention to the product. You're still buying in to the product. They don't care if you liked it or don't like it because you're still talking about it. If you really want to send a message that you're unhappy with whatever product you're watching, turn the channel off. Don't buy any merchandise. Don't watch the pay-per-views. Don't subscribe to the WWE network. I mean, is that really that hard of a concept? Because basically, all certain people are doing is still watching it every Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. They have a pay-per-view, and they complain. And you know what I call that? I call that trolling. I call that being a keyboard warrior who couldn't do it better even if they tried. And you know what? That's my message. If you think you can do so much better than WWE, save your money, find some investors, and try to promote your own show. Because I tell you right now, it doesn't matter if it is AEW, WWE, or your local independent promotion. Putting on a pro wrestling show is a very, very hard thing to do. And I feel like people have lost the sight of that. And it's pathetic. Here's another thing. Okay, you don't like the product? Well, instead of spending anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 and maybe into the hundreds on merchandise and tickets, go support your local independent pro wrestling show. Find the nearest town that has a pro wrestling event that's not mainstream, because I can guarantee you that will make you much happier with pro wrestling, and it'll probably make you fall in love with pro wrestling all over again. You know, so to me, it's so ironic that I'm even having to post this on social media. Because social media, the internet wrestling community, these journalists like Dave Meltzer, that's what's wrong with pro wrestling. That they are a crap stain on the world of professional wrestling. You guys have all these different other companies. You have all these other different brands. But yet you all complain about the same thing week in and week out. And you don't do anything about it. Well, what are you going to do now? Now that you've been called out. Now that you realize that your opinion really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Let me ask you, people on Facebook and Twitter and whatever other social media platform you're using, do you really think Vince McMahon Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, all the other higher ups in WWE, do you really think they care and pay attention to what you're saying and what you're complaining about? Nope, not. Don't care. They don't care. So, again, for the last time, if you don't like what you're watching, turn off the TV and find a new hobby. With that being said, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, reminding you as always, controversy doesn't come without criticism.